So, usually, when a team wins an NBA championship, you can easily point to one, two, or maybe even three superstars who carry the team to the NBA title. But there are rare cases when a team has no superstars, but still manages to win and win big. Right now, you're probably thinking of the 2004 Detroit Pistons. And yes, the Pistons are one of the teams without superstars to accomplish such a feat. But today, I want to talk about pretty much the first team that did it. Hello everyone, I'm Purple Prince and I want to talk about the 1979 Seattle Supersonics. Back in the 1978 NBA Finals, the Seattle Supersonics suffered an emotional defeat in Game 7 of the NBA Finals on their home court against the Washington Bullets. In this age, after a defeat, especially in the NBA Finals, the losing team would sign a great player or trade for one to get over the hump. Similar to what Golden State did after they lost the 2016 NBA Finals to Cleveland by signing Kevin Durant and then winning the next two NBA championships. Back in the late 70s though, that wasn't the blueprint. Supersonics lost their starting center Marvin Webster and another double-digit point scorer in Mike Green, but they added Lonnie Shelton and Tom Lagarde. And that's pretty much it. All of their core from the 1978 NBA Finals were still intact for the 1978-79 season. The continuity paid its dues, and the Seattle Supersonics had a great regular season. 52 wins in 82 games, the second best record in the league, trailing only 54 wins by the defending champions, the Washington Bullets. In the regular season, starting center Jack Sikma averaged 15.6 points, 12.4 rebounds, and 3.2 assists. Jack Sikma was also the only player from the Seattle squad who would make the All-Star game that year, and even then, barely. The best scorer on the team was Gus Williams, who was scoring 19.2 points per game. And their best passer was the 31-year-old small forward John Johnson, who scored 11 points and averaged 4.4 assists. Imagine nowadays NBA with the best passer on the team averaging only 4.4 assists? Yikes! And in total, 7 players on the Seattle Supersonics 1979 team were averaging 11 points or more per game, while none of the players averaged even 20 points per game. Talk about a great team effort. The NBA only had 22 teams and the format back then was 2 conferences and each conference was split in 2 divisions. 6 teams from each conference made the playoffs. The division winners got first round byes and the other 4 teams in the conference played a best of 3 series. Seattle Supersonics won the Pacific Division that year, having only a 2-game cushion over the surging Phoenix Suns, who had 50 wins. The Seattle Supersonics had a first round bye, so they had some extra time to rest up and prepare for their opponent. In the conference semifinals, the Seattle Supersonics had to face the Los Angeles Lakers. No, the Lakers didn't have Magic Johnson yet, but still, the Lakers had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Norm Nixon, Jamal Wilkes, and Adrian Dantley, all of whom were averaging more than 17 points per game. The Lakers had the stars, but the Supersonics had the better team. Seattle's backcourt of Dennis Johnson and Gus Williams was superior, and that was pretty much the main element that decided the series. In the first game, Seattle's backcourt combined for 53 points and a 112-100 win over the Lakers. Then, in Game 2, Dennis Johnson had a quiet 17 points, but Gus Williams went off with 38 points in a 108-103 overtime win. Game 3 was another nail-biter, overtime. But Sikma, Silas, and Shelton would all foul out and Lakers managed to squeeze by with a 118-112 victory, 2-1 in the series. A close Game 4 with Seattle winning 117-115 thanks to Norm Nixon who missed the buzzer beater. Seattle's backcourt once again great. Gus Williams with 30 and Dennis Johnson with 23 points put the Lakers on the brink of elimination. Another close affair in Game 5, but the backcourt once again prevailed. 30 points by Gus Williams, 21 points by Dennis Johnson, 22 points by Lonnie Shelton, and a 4-1 series victory for the Seattle Supersonics. Now, the conference finals was a battle. Supersonics were facing the Phoenix Suns. Like always, Phoenix Suns had the brighter stars. Paul Westphal and Walter Davis were both 24 points per game scorers, and Elvin Adams plus Truck Robinson made up for a very dangerous front court. Supersonics won the first two games on their home court with a great team effort, as every player from the starting lineup was averaging double-digit points, and two of them, Jack Sigma and Lonnie Shelton, were averaging double-digit rebounds. The next three games, however, were won by Phoenix Suns. In Game 3, Gus Williams once again went off for 35 points, but that wasn't enough. In Game 4, Jack Sigma was awful and scored just 5 points on 2 made field goals. The series got tied 2-2, and in Game 5, Paul Westphal scored 27 points on Seattle's home court to give the Suns a 3-2 series lead over the Sonics. The Game 6 was in Phoenix. All the pressure. Seattle managed to squeeze out a 106-105 victory. Once again, the team effort prevailed. 6 of 7 players who played notable minutes scored double-digit points, and John Johnson scored 9. Game 7, home court. This time, the backcourt did their thing, scoring a combined 55 points, but it was Jack Sigma who went off with 33 points and 11 rebounds. A victory in Game 7, and the Seattle Supersonics once again meet their rivals in the NBA Finals. Just a year ago, the Washington Bullets beat the Supersonics in the NBA Finals, and now, in 1979, they were once again battling it out for the NBA Championship. And they still had very good players: Elvin Hayes, Bob Dandridge, Wes Unseld, and Kevin Greavy. In Game 1, Washington narrowly beat the Supersonics thanks to unexpected contribution from their reserve point guard Larry Wright. Wright only averaged 9 points in the regular season, but exploded for 26 in the first game of the finals. And not only that, he made the final 2 free throws that sealed the Game 1 with 1 second remaining. Unfortunately for the Bullets, that was the only game they won in the finals. In Game 2, the starting 5 of Seattle Supersonics scored 82 combined points and catapulted Sonics to a 92-82 victory over the Bullets. In Game 3, the depth of the Seattle Supersonics team showed itself. 5 players scored double-digit points. Lonnie Shelton added 9, and the starters combined scored 88 points to lead the team to another 10-point victory, this time 105-95. Game 4 was closer, as it went to overtime, and this time it was the Bullets who had a great team effort, as 6 players scored in double figures. But as usual, it was the backcourt of the Supersonics who combined for 68 points. Dennis Johnson scored 32 of them and had the most important play of the game by blocking Kevin Greavy's shot attempt with 4 seconds left in the game. Game 5 was another close one, but 6 players on the Supersonics scored double-digit points. Jack Sigma grabbed 17 rebounds, and that was it. Seattle Supersonics were your 1979 NBA champions, and Dennis Johnson won the Finals MVP. Through the whole playoffs, 5 players were averaging 12 or more points per game, with Gus Williams leading the way with his 26.7 points average in 17 games played. Jack Sigma averaged a double-double with 14.8 points and 11.7 rebounds. Lonnie Shelton averaged 12.9 points and 8.4 rebounds. John Johnson averaged 12, 7, and 5, and of course the MVP, Dennis Johnson, averaged 20.9 points, 6.1 rebounds, and 4.1 assists. In total, 7 players played more than 15 minutes per game, and 2 more averaged almost 10. A great team effort, and possibly the greatest team victory ever in the NBA Finals. In my opinion, the 1979 Seattle team was special. It was a team that had no superstars, but managed to combine all elements of basketball to capture the basketball's greatest prize, an NBA championship. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Don't forget to like this video, share it to your friends, and consider subscribing to my channel. Do you agree that Seattle Supersonics were the greatest NBA team ever assembled without any superstars? Maybe you think that 2004 Detroit Pistons were the better team. Whatever your thought is, leave a comment below, like this video, and subscribe for future NBA content. This was Purple Prince, and I'm out.